Welcome to a new episode of TTG Conversations 5 Questions video series. I'm Karen Yu, Group Editor of TTG Asia Media. In this episode, we'll find out how we are on the road to business travel recovery. And giving us insights on this topic is Sharifah Alhabshi, Director of Program Management with Asia at BCD Travel. Now, Sharifah has been in the travel industry for more than 20 years, holding operational and program management roles at both TMCs and airlines. Happy to have you on the show, Sharifah.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Karen.
I've got 5 questions for you, and here's the first. Now, we have seen more Asia-Pac governments, easing their border restrictions or expressing intention to do so in the coming weeks or months. How have these decisions impacted corporate travel activity?
This is interesting indeed. It's too early to say how easing of restrictions will translate into increased business travel, but our clients continually tell us that they're keen to get back traveling. I can relate to that as well. There's a huge pent-up demand, and our surveys have shown how travel is valued. 3/4 of business travelers told us travel helps them work more efficiently. And it provides an equal opportunity to meet face-to-face with colleagues, clients, and partners, which I'm sure you agree it's so important here in APAC. Travelers will naturally be cautious, as the recent lockdown in Shanghai has shown restrictions may suddenly return in isolated cases. But travelers can reassure if booking through a travel management company that will be looked after and kept well informed. Different companies have different stakeholders deciding on travel now. We have travel managers, direct managers, HR, security, as an example.
Wow, okay. Based on corporate travel activity that have resumed recently, are there interesting changes to booking and travel patterns? Now, you mentioned earlier briefly about how more people are now involved in the decision-making process. What other changes are you seeing?
Definitely. Well, Karen, when it comes to corporate travel policies, in a post-pandemic environment, based on our recent travel survey, 64% of travelers want to decide when to travel for themselves, and 58% want a simple trip approval process that prioritizes direct or non-direct stop or non-stop flights. Travelers mainly worry about quarantine on arrival, followed by concerns over sudden lockdowns and rapidly changing travel regulations. Travelers will also want to know how to decide if they should travel or not, which airline is the safest, which hotel is the cleanest, what they should do if they are stranded because a country suddenly re-enter lockdown. A clear and accessible travel policy will give them the information they need to make a right decision and feel confident about traveling again. We do see an increase in touchless solutions addressing travelers' needs, such as online check-in, robot concierge service, elevator access through facial recognition, contactless room keys, and contactless payment. Same goes for services for food and beverages, room service robots, ordering meals through an app, or QR codes, grab and go meals. I hope that answers your questions.
There are talks about how business travel may really slow to return because companies have discovered huge savings from meeting online, as well as greater sensitivity and caution among employees about traveling amid a pandemic. What is your take on this, and what other considerations are potentially slowing down corporate travel recovery to pre-pandemic levels?
Well, Karen, while virtual meetings and remote work are here to stay, business travel and face-to-face meetings remain extremely important. 76% of the survey respondents that we did recently said business travel helps them perform their work efficiently. For remote versus face-to-face meetings, 74% rate in-person direct meetings as the most important reasons for business travelers, followed by team building, sales meetings, and meetings with partners or suppliers, which I am looking forward to in the near future. I'm sure this is not new to everyone, including business travelers, They're raising concerns about reliance on screen-based interaction as their primary meeting method. Please allow me to highlight the main weaknesses of virtual meetings: lack of human contact, limited interaction, easy distraction, unsuitability of some meeting types, and of course, Zoom fatigue. I'm sure you know what I meant. And lastly, technology issues. Well, remote working creates new business travelers. While our research has shown internal meetings to be most vulnerable to substitution by virtual technologies, everyone finding themselves in a meeting made up of remote workers will need to meet face-to-face. Even if it's not occasionally though, what used to be commute to the office now becomes a business trip to a location that might be more convenient for all meeting attenders. Companies are responding to development, closing down office spaces and encouraging virtual, remote team to meet at HQs, head office, other conveniently located office or offsite. Future travel patterns will likely indeed change, with remote work potentially leading to more travel, surprisingly, right? As a commuter of yesterday becomes the travel business of tomorrow. Also, do take note, the risks associated with global pandemic have dominated people's minds for almost 2 years. But as business returns, it's important to recognize the other risks which travel managers and their travelers may expose, such as extreme weather events, terrorism, economic risks, and cybersecurity breaches. Companies must evaluate their travel risk management program to ensure the employees' safety and security on the road. BCD Travelers security travel assessment gauge whether a company's duty of care practices and policies are effective against today's travel risk.
Now, the Ukraine-Russia crisis conflict has impacted travel in the West. How do you see this situation impacting corporate travel from West to Asia and vice versa?
Yeah, clearly it affects any Asia-Europe travel, which would normally have flown over Russia, right? Particularly if flying with an European or Asian airlines that are banned from Russian airspace. Travelers can expect long flight time, 1/3 longer, in fact, or may have to resort to multi-sector itineraries with a stop and route at a Gulf hub. We're not anticipating that this will slow down travel economy for sure. Europe to Asia is one of the intercontinental travel sectors that experienced significant passenger travel traffic contraction in 2021 due to COVID-19 related border restrictions in several Asian countries, which are still impacting recovery. So, you know, you and I know that there will be an impact on cost because of the need for more fuel on the reroutes. Fuel costs might increase due to longer routings. While we are in the early stage of another recovery, it will be a challenge for airlines, especially in context of the increase in jet fuel prices over the past year. Airlines might be tempted to pass this additional cost to clients by raising fuel surcharge in very near future.
Okay. And last question. What can corporate travel managers as well as TMCs like BCD do to reassure travelers who are worried about returning to business travel?
Well, that's why we currently, you know, she asked me in terms of this, travelers' care become more vital than ever. Putting travelers' health and wellness first is key. Since the pandemic, airlines and hotels have put in place health and cleanliness standards prior to check-in, boarding, arrival, as well as crowd control, safe distancing, rules at the airport, on transport, and more. These additional processes may add to the length of journey, and corporations need to calculate the risk of travel versus the return of investment. More focus on travel care, risk management, and security. We do see cooperation wanting to explore better ways to regulate where travelers are flying and looking for help on how to conduct risk assessment. Also, travel policy is constantly the main topic of discussions now. Companies must give their travelers the tools and support to increase their confidence and protect their health. Travel managers must now transform their travel programs into one that helps keep business moving safely and responsibly during uncertainty. Ensuring the travel policy is fit for purpose is a critical first step. When it's time to travel, the travelers need to know what's allowed, when to book, who to book, and most importantly, why. Successful travel programs make trips simple, productive, and safe for business travelers, especially a solo female traveler like myself. We need to keep travelers, informed and confident. We continue to advise travelers to visit the publicly available COVID-19 hub with real-time information on country-level restrictions, airlines, hotel policies, airport information, etc. I hope that helps, Karen.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Sharifah. That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you for the insights.
Thank you, Karen, for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
Past and future episodes of TTG Conversations 5 questions can be found on the TTG YouTube channel. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see everyone else on the next episode. Goodbye.